Viveca Jensen.
Yes.
I am so happy that you are able to sit down and talk about health and fitness and how to feel great in your body at any age.
Yes.
Honestly. You and I met a very long time ago.
Yes. Let's say that.
And I think I was probably in my 30s when we met, and you do Pilates, and I had never done it before. You introduced me to Pilates and my whole world changed.
Yes.
Can you tell me why you think Pilates is so powerful for the body?
First of all, we know now, right, that everybody does Pilates now. It's so popular, and that's super cool, meaning that it is one of the best exercises it is. When I started it, it was not popular. It was hardly no studios around. So I was lucky enough to find Pilates through my dance career. My felt comfortable to go back to Pilates. It was very much comfortable for me to my technique of dance. And when I learned Pilates, I was like, this is it. This is for everybody, because you get the stretch, you get the strength, and you get the you work with resistance, meaning that is strength training. And now we know how important strength training is. So you get the flexibility, you get the strength training, and you also get the mind-body connection, because it's the whole body experience. So, I mean, it's just most powerful exercise that I have ever done.
And you've tried every type of physical thing. I mean, you were a dancer. Were you a bodybuilder at one point?
Yeah, but yes, I was. I'm a jack of all trades. So when I was young, really young, I was doing bodybuilding, because it was like kind of the thing to do in Sweden. You go into the gym, and I've always been interested in fitness. So yes, I did some competition when I was like 17, 18 years old. I always strive for doing the best I can. So I was, that kind of person. Hey. I did bodybuilding competition when I was young. I came a second in Sweden championship. When I was it was not that popular. So I was not big, but it was more like, now it's more like fitness competition. That was the genre I was in back then. Yeah. But building your body and having that connection with your body has been my life.
It's because when I started going to you, the thing that I really took away, because I'd been going to step aerobics and doing all the different things and hardcore cardio. And then when I started training with you, it was super hard, but it was very a deeper connection to the body, and it was challenging. But I was also 30, and so I feel like my body was able to pick it up pretty quickly. And it's weird, I feel stronger now in my 50s than I did in my 30s, because I think I'm more focused on it. Talk to me about what you think the most important things are to focus on for your health, in your 40s, 50s.
Yeah, the most important thing is to continue, get your body strength. All the muscle that really matters, we know now, and I work with a lot of women, and it's interesting, they kind of follow me in the age, right? I do have some younger too, but they've been with me for a while, so it's more like I want to connect the mind, your brain work with the body connection. I think that's number one, and we know when we age, that is super important in other aspects of our health, the brain.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's number one. And that's why Pilates is so good, because I have always said you can't do Pilates just body-wise. You have to calm your mind to actually do it right. It's not a machine at the gym. Yeah. It's not the same. But I love the gym too. I love to lift weights, and
you box too.
Yeah.
I mean,
I love all kind of sports. I like to challenge myself, and I love that when people do all of it. Strength training is the key for us too. So Pilates, you can get some strength up to a certain point, but then I also say, go and lift weights. You got to get that heavier weight training in, because if you build your muscle, as we know, when we age, the muscle mass goes down. It's just what it is.
Yeah.
So we can meet it with getting a little bit heavier weight and say, oh my God, I'm getting older. Now you're telling me to lift heavier weights? Yes, I do. I literally do. Let's start there. And you're going to be surprised how fast it can go to get a little bit more muscle on the legs, on the glute. It's before we worked out, didn't we all work out? You're just like, I want to look cute and thin.
I want to look skinny.
I mean, that was the motivation for everybody came in my life and myself too. I'm like, oh my God, I got to go to the gym. But I realized if I don't go to the gym, my mental state, I realized that pretty young actually. Yeah. So that was my thing. But definitely when we're getting older, do the strength, do the flexibility, because also you're getting, tighter. People have more stagnant jobs now, and to be movable, to be able to come up from the floor. We're thinking about those things now. I never thought about that myself.
Right. Something so simple, but if you can't do it. Yeah.
No, go down on your knees and step up and have the muscle to be able to do that. That's going to help us when we get even older than we are now.
It's interesting because I think people are really afraid, particularly women are afraid of lifting weights.
Oh, yeah.
So tell me what is an entry point way that you could start to lift weights to help break through that?
Yeah, first of all, we're talking about the stigma what women want, and I have a lot of different clients. So and I say, we're gonna get a little more heavier weight, and like I don't want to bulk up on my arms. So that's one thing. I don't want to bulk up. I said, oh my God, do you know how long it takes for you to bulk up to build muscle? Takes a long time and a lot of weight. So I would suggest if you can't go to the gym, follow a program home, do some exercises home. There's a lot of online stuff right now, and start with small weight, but do it right. Do it, don't flare, don't do it too fast, do concentrate, and then you're going to see how fun it is to be stronger, and then maybe get a little bit more weight. You and I got you on good weights now.
Right.
You're strong.
But I didn't start there.
No, you did not.
So if it's day one for me and I'm at home, what weight would you say is a good place to start? And then I get confused with heavy weight, small reps, medium weight, a lot of reps. Like what is the difference between those two things, and like what should we be doing?
If you want to build muscles, you are trying to go as heavy as you can without getting your hurt your joints and all that good stuff. So obviously you can't go on a heavy weight right away. So I would suggest some smaller weights, but and then do what you can do to get tired, like a 5-pounder maybe. And from the start, it's not a big weight. You do your bicep, press overhead for shoulders and stuff like that. It's uber important for women to use the shoulders because we usually have all these neck problems up here, right? But the shoulder muscle and the back muscles are underdeveloped. And that is when we get that little hunchback, and we want to have good posture when we also get older. And the gravity of age is going to take the spine down. So everything kind of like overhead in the right technique. I'm very particular with that because I've seen a lot of people do it wrong. And then you feel more in your neck and you don't want to do it anymore. So anyway, so 5-pounder to start with. But then when you have that and you feel comfortable with it, just add on like an 8-pounder. Go to a 10-pounder. Do your bicep, do your tricep, because we're using our arms the whole time. And then squats, of course. Squats, and if you can do lunges, maybe with the weight, holding the weight, something that can add more than your body weight. You can start with body weight first on squats and wall sits and lunges, that's your body weight. You're warming up there. But then if you want to kick it up and get muscle in your quad and your glute, booty, and all that good stuff, you add some weight or resistant. You can do the bands, those are good. It's very important for glute strength to do the bands, the abductor is outside. They know more and more now that the glute is the center of our body, right? It's the biggest muscle.
Right.
It's not just to look cute.
Right. But it's nice.
In jeans. It's cute like having the booty in a pair of jeans or a skirt, but it's the most important muscle.
It's interesting because I know that I used to have a lot of neck problems. And I was going to the chiropractor all the time to fix the neck problem. And then I had some knee issues that my knee was really bugging me. And I remember when we would train together, it felt counterintuitive because you were like, we need to work on the muscles around the area to support it. But you're afraid to go there, right?
Absolutely.
Because you have all that tension. But the second I did that, like the squats helped my knee, the shoulders and the what's the back?
Scapula.
Yes,
Your
doing
scapula,
that and not being in my shoulders, but being in my that made a game changer in my neck. So hence I don't have to go to the chiropractor every week to fix something that I was able to fix in training. And so I think that's a really important thing for people to remember, because your tendency is to shy away from it.
Absolutely.
Obviously, you have to do it in the right way.
Yes.
But you have to build the supporting muscles around it. And that was a big lesson for me. You are impeccable at knowing the body. Like, it's unbelievable. I'll walk in to see you and you will just look at me and be like, all right, we're going to work on your your shoulders up. This is da, 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 da. And that level of expertise is unbelievable. You created piloxing, which was my favorite high cardio workout. And it was a combo of boxing and dance and Pilates.
Yeah. For standing still, like we did standing Pilates, and again back then, because that was 2010, I came up with that exercise. They have never heard about standing Pilates.
Right.
Standing Pilates was one of his, Joseph Pilates that came up with this, was one of his curriculum actually, and now people do standing Pilates like left and right. So, but I got questioned about that all the time. That was just like a sticker there. But so I did Pilates, we stand up, and then we did a little dance just for fun. It was very simple dance. It wasn't like choreography per se.
I felt very accomplished when I did.
Like feel a little sexy and have fun. Like, because the people are so scared of their own body. And that's my takeaway from my life in fitness is I train a lot of people and I've seen a lot of people, is the fear. Is the fear of, like you said, if I'm in pain somewhere, I'm not going to move, right? So you get stagnant. Oh, my shoulder is hurt. And then you shrug your shoulder the whole day. And then, what's happening? You have neck. I woke up the other day and I couldn't move my neck because from sleeping.
Right.
Because I've been working out. But then you kind of, I need to move that muscle. So, and stretching and all that. But piloxing came up in 2010. And my reason for doing piloxing, came up with that exercise, was actually myself. At that time, I had my daughter. I trained Pilates in my house, and she was young, and I was stressed. Single parent. And then I went to different classes. In certain classes, I could take her with me, and certain classes I couldn't. So it was kind of like, oh my God, what can I do? And I went to these classes and I said, I want to do something that women feel powerful.
Sleek, sexy, and powerful.
Yeah, that's the mantra. Sleek, sexy, and powerful.
No, and it's incredible because like when I first started training with you, I would come to your house.
Yes.
And I think your daughter was maybe 6 or 5 or 6. And she would be sometimes asleep underneath it because you were a single mom.
Yeah.
This was your business. And what you built is incredible. And you did it. You had teams along the way, but like it really came from your energy and your focus and your brilliance with it. So it's amazing what you did and provided for her and for you.
Yeah. No, I looking back on it, it was such a interesting journey. Yeah. And when I started, it was just, I didn't think. I'm a go-getter. I don't think, I act. And I think that's the best thing to do. If we think too much, we get scared and what can I do and all stuff. And on the way, I figured a lot of things out. It came to me kind of like it fell in my lap. And of course, it was hard work, super hard work. I'm not going to lie. It was so hard work, but it was so rewarding. And when I did Pilates, Pilates first with my clients and then piloxing, and we made into a world business. We were in 97 countries.
Yeah.
And it went fast.
Yeah.
Furious and fast. And getting that impact on people, and it was mostly women.
Yeah.
And I remember when we did, a lot of segments on TV, local TV, and in a magazine and so on, that everybody asked me, so why is it just women? Right. They asked me that all the time. And I said, you know what? At that time, it was more like, why shouldn't we focus on women a little bit more? And I think a lot of women, when we get family and so on, we are not doing as much as we should for ourselves. And that hurts us in the end.
But I even notice it now. So like Rumi's 8 months old now. And like I was very, very strict and like on a really good schedule. But then a baby comes along and everything changes.
Everything changes.
And I was good for the first couple of weeks and then it just started slipping. And what I've really realized in the last particularly, I knew it, but like now I'm like, okay, now I have to really carve time out, is I'm not as good in myself if I'm not doing it and committing that time, even if it's only 30 minutes. 30 minutes can make such a big difference to your day and your body and your mindset. So whatever it is, you know, even if you have some weights in the living room and you're just doing it while, you know, she's sleeping, but it's a commitment, but the payoff is so big.
And when people haven't experienced that, it's very hard for them to start.
Yes.
Because now you're busier in your life than ever, right?
Yeah.
Like you have this human that like, okay, I have to attend to her, him, or your kids and all that stuff. And oh my God, if she's sleeping, I might do the laundry and stuff like that. But it's super important. And that's exactly why I did piloxing. I did it for my mental health.
Yeah.
Back then, I never thought about mental health. Now we are more concerned and aware of it. And I'm super happy about that.
Yeah.
But I was like, I need this because I'm a better mom if I exercise.
Yeah.
And it's not selfish. And so many times I actually thought I was selfish. You know, I got to have my time. And she was in daycare at the gym with me when I taught classes and so on. But you know what? I was much better mom when I picked her up. I had my time.
And also, too, you're setting an example to her of you taking care of yourself and bringing that energy. And they learn from watching us do, not what we say. But you've said so many good things. I hope I can remember everything to go back to. So your point about creating something for women, what's crazy is a lot of the gyms aren't built for women anyway. The machines are all measured to men. The weights are all measured to men. So the fact that you created something that was just for women, I mean, men could go if they wanted to, but it was more female-centric. Yeah, you totally did, but it was more female-centric. Yeah. But it's just crazy because it's like, why not? We were being neglected within the physical fitness spaces. So,
absolutely. Yeah. And that was interesting to me when we started this, and everybody asked me about that. Yeah. Every interview I did, they asked. And maybe I was a little sassy with the answer. I know, maybe I was a little sassy because I was like, well, they will take care of themselves. So now it's time for us to take care of themselves. And I want to help. Yeah. I want to be an outlet for them. And women, this is a group fitness class, right? Piloxing is a group fitness class. So, and women love to go with their friends and bring friends with them. Much more than men, actually. You know, we are more together and we're like, come with me to this gym. Tell me about it. And then you go together. And that was also an outlet to see the girlfriends there and sweat together. It's pretty amazing to be in a group setting when everybody do the same thing. Music is loud. We're sweating our butts off and then go out. You are euphoric because your adrenaline, your metabolism starting, and your endorphin is skyrocketing. Yeah. And so your endorphin is something that you need in your life. Yeah. And exercise is one of the things that can pump that up. If your endorphin doesn't go up, you don't feed your brain, you don't feed your body.
Yeah, it is interesting because I feel like, to your point, you know, back in the day, it was all about being skinny or, you know, being tight or whatever. But now I sort of look at the benefits way more on the mental and emotional scale. I mean, yes, body being strong is super important, but I didn't think about that it actually helped my state of mind, because it's like when we first met, like I was in a high pressure job, tons of stress. Yes. That didn't change for another 25 years. So, but it was like I would walk in here or, you know, a Zoom class with you and be so stressed. And if my mind wasn't in, I couldn't do the things you were asking me to do. Like I really had to be there present. And I think it's a really important thing to remember when you are, whatever you're doing, be present to it, even if it's only for a short time, because it does make a massive difference.
Massive difference. Yeah. That's what I teach. And I see people like clients every hour, and when they come in, different people, right? And I kind of have to read their mental stage. And the key is for, if you have a trainer, if you don't have a trainer, like you said, go into your gym and have a program, find somebody that can help you with a program, or set up and learn X amount of machine and go to the same machine so you know what you're doing and have that routine, but focus, because Pilates, I said, I do not let anybody think about the next job if they don't have to, if it's not an emergency and stuff like that. But I make everybody to do it the right way, more concentrate. You know, if I chit chat with a client all through that hour, they're not going to get the benefit, right? You know. And of course, we chit chat sometimes, but then we get serious. And I was like, no, we going at it. And you can't chit chat through an exercise if you're going to do it good.
You can't.
No, you cannot.
But I also think we're like, you know, so when when piloxing was at its height, and I loved it. And to your point, like it made me feel like I could do things I didn't know I could do, which is the same in Pilates as well. Like we all remember, you and I remember when you said, jump on that box. And I was like, are you crazy? I can't jump on that box. Like my body can't do that.
And what did I say? Of course you can.
Right. But my mind told me I couldn't. And so I was terrified. And
absolutely.
It's crazy, but like, where did those thoughts come from? Like, you know what I mean? Like, where did I learn that I couldn't do that?
Yeah.
Who knows? But breaking through that mental boundary.
It's the height.
It's the hardest thing. But when you break through, then you're like, it opens the door up for so many other things. But COVID really changed everything. And I think it shifted the group class culture into in-home culture, which is great.
Which is great, yeah.
I think we're sort of, the pendulum swung back now and people are going back out to classes and it's unique to be social again. Because to your point, there is nothing like feeling like doing a class like that.
Social is another layer of what we need.
Yep.
We need human contact.
Yep.
If we don't have human contact, we get a little bit, get a little crazy actually.
Yeah.
So, and to like you said, the COVID, but before COVID, when piloxing was on its height, to have a room full of women mostly to go so hard and come out of there, it is a release. And a lot of women, and this is weird to say, but I saw it, it affected me greatly. A lot of people cried. I always had like a cool down. And when you go so high and you didn't know you could go so high, your heart rate goes in interval training, and then you do like a cool down and you're sitting on the floor and we have great music and we are together. A lot of people got a release. And they cried and is crying good, Viveca? People asking me like, yes, because it's a good cry.
Yeah.
And a good cry.
I cried in your class.
Yeah.
But it wasn't because I was sad.
No.
It's
a release.
It was a release, and that valve getting released. And even sitting here now, you're reminding me that I need to go do a group class. Because there's just a different energy to it. And I think it's even more so about the release than it is about the workout.
Yeah.
Air quotes. But yeah, so that was incredible. But then you are amazing to me because you've been able to read the culture and what's happening and then pivot into what your next thing is. And now you've launched Stark, which is, you're incredible.
Oh,
you're incredible. You're amazing. You do this all on your own. You're a businesswoman, your mom, and you're a friend, obviously, but it's really great. And so tell me like Stark and what it does and what does it mean?
Okay, yeah, I know, right? Stark means strong.
In Swedish?
Yeah, in Swedish and Danish. Actually, spelled in the Danish way because it's cool.
Yeah.
It's cool as a print, but then I was thinking strong because, and that was the aspect that everybody's like, we need to have strong muscle to benefit when we get older. We're going to break our skeleton if we don't have muscles. So there was a lot of talk about hormones and all that. I'm super into it because I got older and I had all these changes. So I was like, oh my goodness. Now, a strength training apparatus that you can do home, and obviously I love Pilates, so I came up with a copy that's already on a Cadillac. We have the springs on Cadillacs that you do the leg work with, you do arm work with, you're standing and doing it, you're sitting, you do roll downs with the added weight. So I came up with that. Why don't I have two straps on a door, and you have a lot of like different clips that you can do different levels, and 3 amazing bands that have different strength, and with a bar with foot loops and handles. So there was your Pilates reformer. It didn't move, right? But you have the Pilates reformer / Cadillac, as we call it. And a lot of people haven't worked on Cadillac, but that's really.
And what's behind us is
the reformer.
That's the reformer.
Yes.
And
that's the Cadillac. Yeah. So you see on the end here, if you can see, it's the springs that hanging down and your bar here. That is actually what Stark is. So you're laying down doing footwork, like leg work, glute work, and then you can stand on the end, you can sit, you can do everything with this Stark.
Awesome.
And you have the added weight, right? So you can do with the lightest of them. I mean, we have crazy amount of exercise home workouts so that we film, and I come up and I love to do different stuff with myself, and like, oh my goodness, we can, and also balance. Balance is huge.
Balance is a piece that I feel like I've just recently, obviously we've done balance work, but like putting the word to it. But I feel like balance now, I think has become more, people are realizing that is important too.
Yeah.
And that's a really important part of that.
And how do we connect the upper body strength with a lower body? So Stark can do that because you can have the bar that you're holding on to, and you can do regular squats or whatever, but the bar that you're holding on to and using the whole core, because that is the torso, all the muscles that are connected to your spine.
I think everybody gets stuck that the core is just the tummy muscles.
Yeah, it's not. It's not.
Because it's the corset, right? It's
the corset.
The whole thing. Yeah.
It's the core and back muscles.
Yeah.
Yeah, everything that's around your spine, cylindrically surround your spine muscle. And it's all this muscle that we have in the back, all the muscles that we have in the front, and all the leg muscles and your glute. Everything is connected.
Yeah.
So we can't we can never isolate a muscle.
Yeah.
We can train it, it can be the prime mover.
Yeah.
Prime mover is different from, we can't isolate a muscle. So if you do a squat, people like, oh, I feel my quads. And I'm like, yeah, but you also, when you're sitting down, when you're bending.
There's other things. What else do you feel?
Whatever else can you feel? And it's actually like when you're sitting down, you're actually stretching the quad muscle and your hamstring kicking in, and then your glute kicking in. And when you're standing up, your quads is engaging. So that's the whole, technique thing of it that I know. People don't have to know that. Just do squats.
Right.
And
so I think now too, after COVID and Stark, the cool thing about Stark is you can travel with it. You can stick it in your suitcase and you can do it at home, which I think is great, because I know for me, like if I wasn't working out at home, I may not make it to a studio or a class just with work and baby and all the things going on.
Definitely.
Now, the issue with working out at home is you have to be motivated and committed, because it's easy to push it to the side.
Absolutely.
So that's an internal struggle that I think we're all sort of fighting. But like some days I even say to myself, just do a walk.
Yes.
Just get outside, get a walk in, because at least you've done something and you're not just beating up on yourself about it, because our bodies do change and they will continue to change. Share with me a little bit about the importance of hormones that you've experienced as you've sort of been moving through, and then how it also affects your body and working out.
Yeah, no, it does affect your body. Yeah, it's interesting. We're all going to go through it, right? Yeah. All women coming into perimenopause, menopause, postmenopause and all this stuff. And it's great doctors to follow on Instagram. And they have a lot of information nowadays. And it actually flooded the internet. But it wasn't that long ago that nobody talked about it. And I mean, a lot long ago.
No, like 2 years ago, I feel like nobody was talking about it.
Exactly. And I'm so happy because they gave me a lot of information. And I literally, I'm going to say something that's really silly, but in a weird way, and this is crazy, because I thought I could dodge the bullet. In a weird way. I didn't think I would be affected by it because I'm working out a lot.
Right.
I'm so strong. And at that time, I was working out maybe the most because my daughter was older. I did CrossFit. I did obviously Pilates.
You were boxing.
I was boxing. I was doing everything. I was in tip-top shape.
Yeah.
And then it hit me. And I was like, oh my God, I'm sweating at night. But that's weird and whatever. And then when I was training clients, suddenly I just burst out of sweat. It was very strange. And I was like, what's going on? What's going on? I don't feel good. Yeah. And then I've never been depressed in my whole life. I got depressed.
Wow.
Yeah. And I didn't really realize the depression on myself.
Right.
I mean, I have my daughter, she's been through a lot. So I recognize in other people's, but not in myself. And then I said, why am I so sad? I have nothing to be sad about. And I was like, oh, talk to a doctor. And she goes, you have zero estrogen and testosterone, Viveca, whatever it was. There was low numbers, whatever. Wow. I was like, huh? Okay, do I need that? And like, yeah, she like, yeah, you do. So she got me on that, and I got the referral from a client. It was awesome. And it changed my life.
Yeah.
It changed my life.
I have the same experience because then I went to the doctor that you went to. Yeah. But same thing. I was like, I think it is that then people sort of wrote off, oh, well, that you don't feel good, you're foggy, you're putting on weight. And it's all normal, and that should just be accepted.
Yep.
Right?
You should
And
just
there was
shrivel up.
sort of there was sort of a feeling of that. And like,
Absolutely.
well, that's just it.
Yeah.
And that's what you're going to have to suffer through.
Your mom did that, and you know.
Right. And so then going and actually talking to a doctor and getting the HRT. Yeah. And it was a game changer for me because I had put on so much weight.
Yep.
And when you're carrying extra weight, it's really hard to motivate yourself to work out because you don't feel good about yourself. It's this weird cycle, right? So when I went to her and she got me on the right things, I had the energy that I didn't have, and it motivated me.
Yeah.
And so it was a big thing.
Big thing.
Yeah.
And people...
And it consistently changes. So it's not something you're just like one thing and you're done.
No.
You know,
No,
so
you have to take the test. You have to take your blood test and all that.
Yep.
And if you have a good doctor, they will know how to gauge that and all that. And it's also how you feel.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's the estrogen that we have. But then I'm a big advocate for testosterone in women's because we have that.
See, I didn't even think about it until
Nobody thinks because it's a
But then
male
it
hormone,
was
right?
male. It's not for me.
No. But it is not the male hormone. We have had it a whole life.
Yeah.
We have had those the hormones in our body the whole life, and then it was taken away. So why wouldn't you replenish that too?
Right.
So, and I know as a trainer, if that is lacking in your body, you are not building muscle.
Right.
You can't.
Right.
Testosterone is a muscle.
It's like a key part of the building. Yeah.
To build muscle, and you're not going to blow up like a bodybuilder, and people are also scared of that. You heard about testosterone, people take him in the body. Yeah, but this is what you replenish, what you have had.
Right.
You don't go over your limits. So it's not, people are scared of that still.
Yeah.
And I'm not a doctor, but I'm following doctor, and I said, always go and talk to your doctor, of course, but have a doctor that is more, you know, in the age of where we are now.
Yeah, and I think it's great if you can find a female doctor that understands it and isn't just, well, your levels look fine, you know, because we don't want fine.
No,
we want to feel good.
Yes, because we can nowadays. We can, right? Before we couldn't.
Yeah,
because they had no.
Our moms didn't have that.
And still, they don't have research about they don't have research about it as much as you should. And I hope they go to the right.
Totally.
Yeah, but the feeling, right?
Yeah.
The feeling is. I just thought back on that time in my life, and I was like, oh, thank God I found some. I would not be where I'm at today if I know that.
Yeah, I feel the same way. And like I have a couple of friends they're kind of a little bit in the mindset of, well, that's perimenopause. I'm like, but you don't have to feel bad. Like you can feel better. So take the advantages of the modern science and where we're at. What are your beliefs on like protein and eating for over 50? Like what should we be doing?
I know.
What should we not be doing?
I know.
And what is it okay to do occasionally?
I know. Well, you know, I have done it all, like the protein shakes and all that stuff. And I'm very, like, I take vitamins. I take vitamins every day, and it's more like kind of like a multivitamins. I take omega. I take the D vitamin. I take B. I take some you know, for my hair and nails and all that. And
well, hair's a big thing too.
Hello.
That was one of the big things that I really noticed more so than my lack of energy was like, why is my hair so lackluster?
Yeah, and you have amazing hair.
But I went through a period where I did not, and I didn't. It was like coming out and sidebar, but
no, but that's hormone. Yeah. No, so take vitamins and then I do, you know, turmeric. I do those organics. Like I have some squirting because like taking those pills in the morning is like, oh,
it's a lot.
It's a lot. But I do it, and I take a little collagen powder. I do not know if that affects my skin or whatever. I read about it and I try to do the best I can. But I do it every day, and then I literally thinking about having protein in my food. Do I eat a lot of butter? I'm from Sweden, and I eat cream.
Australia, butter.
I know, butter and
guilty
cream.
As charged.
Yeah, cream in my sauces. You know, we have they make a joke that Sweden has the most sauces in the whole world. We love sauce. Everything has a sauce on it, and yeah, that's right. So I do eat that, but it's natural. I try to do as natural as possible, trying to get some green into the thing. And sometimes I'm just bored out of my mind to get some green salad, and I feel feel like, I'm trying, but I'm trying to do, I love to cook.
Yeah.
So that's a benefit for me. I do not eat fast food.
Yeah.
I don't like fast food.
Yeah.
My daughter eats
Same.
fast food here and there.
Right.
And go and eat, some here and there. I don't think it's all things we do when we have super restriction in ourselves, we go to the other side.
Right.
We want to break
like it's
that.
Like moderation.
Yeah.
It's like, so fast food isn't a thing for me, but I do enjoy a glass of red wine.
Exactly.
Right? So
I drink beer.
right.
I love beer.
You are one of the only women that I know that loves beer.
I love beer. Yeah, I can't be. Can I be without it? Probably. Was I out when I was pregnant? Yes, I was. But like, I love a beer too. And literally, I drink beer almost every night because that's also to food, because it's culture for me.
Yeah.
Not a strong beer, but like I'm drinking beer and I'm like, I'm going to enjoy life.
Right.
But
you also work out hard. So
I do work out hard, but
Yeah.
that's the same with me. I have the motivation. I go to the gym, and you know what I do when I go to the gym? I said, just go to the gym for 30 minutes and then I stay an hour.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But then I come home and I have a beer.
Yeah.
That's my my give. Of course, drink a lot of water. Absolutely, drink a lot of water. And sometimes I'm really bad at it myself. I go in.
It's one of the things that I have to remind myself constantly, because I do feel better when I have consumed more. But it's very easy to forget.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, I know when I don't drink a lot of water, I cramp up when I show exercises for people. I was like, oh, I haven't been drinking water as I should, right?
Yeah.
So yes, absolutely drink water. Those electrolytes that can replenish you are good too. I do it here and there to a lot of people get cramps, and it has to do with that maybe or some other things in your body. But I usually replenish the water. But do we want to eat an ice cream here and there for dessert or a dessert? Absolutely. Go for it.
Yep.
Sugar every day though will create inflammation in your body.
Yeah. Sugar's not great.
It's not good.
I used to, I think probably when I was in my 20s, I probably had 4 or 5 teaspoons of sugar in coffee. And then I was like cold turkey.
Oh, you did? Oh,
Yeah.
you're so good.
Cold turkey, because research was starting to come out that it was bad. And I knew it was maybe not great. But anyway, I stopped. And so I don't do sugar in anything. But now I can't, even a little bit of sugar is like almost too much for me.
Too much for it. Yeah, you get used to it.
Yeah,
you can get used to it.
Yeah.
But then when we start to eat sugar,
Yeah.
you're craving more sugar.
Right.
Absolutely. It's kind of like, ooh, I can eat 2 spoons of ice cream
Right.
and then if I sit down and I eat it more, then I want to eat the whole damn
Because it's
bucket.
so good.
It's so good.
What would you say is, what are your thoughts on like intermittent fasting for women?
I fast a little bit for me to feel lighter when I was going to doing a lot of shows and so on. I heard a lot of people love it nowadays too. I'm not super a fan of it actually, because I think you're regularly eating, you're fooling your body. Yes, and a lot of people don't eat breakfast. They intermittent fasting into a certain hour, and I know people swear by it.
I think it works. From my experience and what I've seen, I think it works really well for men. Like I did it for a while and it was good at first, but then I noticed my energy. Yeah. And so then I went back to having protein in the morning, and then my energy was great. Yeah. But I still stopped eating like at 7. I still was going. I was still going 12 hours without 12 to 14 hours without anything. But I did notice that, particularly as getting older, that the protein outweighed the benefit of going longer on the fast. But I also think it's a personal thing.
It is a personal thing.
I think some people's bodies work better on different.
Absolutely. And the thing of eating after 7 and so on, that's people ask me about that too. And I sometimes I eat very late, but it has to do with your metabolism, right? So when you eat, your metabolism is supposed to take care of the food in your body.
Right.
So when we go we eat at 8 and go to bed at 9, as I do right now. Oh my God, I'm old. Okay. Then that's not good for you.
Listen, going to bed at 9 is a luxury that should be honored. I love it.
But that then your body's already, it has a job to do. So then yes, you can gain weight because you don't have your metabolism. It's actually metabolizing your food, and then you have no activity. So if you're eating at 7 or ate something and you upped a couple of more hours, you know, it's all
I see what you're saying.
Yes.
So it's more about the time gap between when you
because
ate
it has
and,
to do with
the
metabolism.
digestion. Yeah.
Because say don't eat after that because you're gonna go to bed and then you pack on weight.
Right.
Because that was the whole thing, right?
Right.
And something I'm like I said again, I'm Swedish and I've been like they banked into me that I have to eat breakfast in the morning. And I'm super active, right? So if I don't eat breakfast, I wake up and are starving.
Yeah.
Starving.
Yeah.
And if I don't eat, I feel nauseous.
Yeah.
So the first, nobody can talk to me.
Yeah.
I'm going to the kitchen. I get my, Greek yogurt. I have the protein. I have the almond. I have the, the blueberry and a big ass coffee.
Yes.
Double shot of espresso.
Need that.
And then, hey, I'm happy. Somebody can talk to me,
Right. So I don't know how to get into this. You're newly in love.
Yes, I am.
And there was a time period where you were not dating
At all.
So what changed and how is it?
It's so good. But yes, this has been a journey for me actually too.
Yeah.
So I talked a little bit about how I was a single parent, working with Pilates, build it up from nothing in one bedroom apartment and then to Pilates. And at that time when I started Pilates and we blew up, my daughter we realized that she had a disease, like she had endometriosis.
Oh, wow.
So
That's incredibly painful.
Yeah. It's incredibly painful, not good research about it. So, and she was young and it was terrible for her. Terrible. Yeah. She went through X amount of surgeries and all that stuff. So my cup was literally full. By running a business, I had partners and we had employees. And that was also another task that that was...
Right. It wasn't just you.
No.
You now had to learn how to be a leader for everybody.
And not just leader out, because I was very good at being a leader in what I did, but then now I had to be leading people to get to the point that I want. And that was not my strong suit, I have to tell you right away. But then, so my daughter was very sick and she was with me when I flew across the world. I was everywhere. And it was a lot of stress on me. And people ask me all the time, you out on this big convention, you're meeting people, and it's a man's world out in fitness industry. It is. I didn't even look. I was so concentrated on my career, and it fulfilled me. My career fulfilled me to the brim. And I did have my partners that actually we were all intrigued about what we can do and build up. So after we've been working all day, we were on the phone all evening. And my daughter was sick, so I had to balance her and all that stuff. So I didn't feel like it was a space for anybody, because I also know that you have to create space for somebody. I wasn't ready. So many years. And it's not the best thing for people to go, celibacy. Unwanted celibacy. But that was like was no space for me. My brain couldn't. My partners had love interests and husbands and fiancés in their life, but I couldn't. And then when Ariella got a little bit better, that she could, and older, and she could, she had a lot of other things with that. Being that sick, it's the mental health coming with it, and I was supporting her fully. So when she got better, I also felt like I could have some time. And COVID made us not travel the world anymore. It was sad for our business because we literally plummeted because we are in group fitness. Gyms closed. So
you were no longer. I mean, you were traveling
everywhere,
10 times a year to crazy countries.
And now after COVID, we couldn't travel and they couldn't teach. So we lost our business a lot in Pilates. Pilates is still alive, but very
it's just different now.
Different level, yes. But then I'm like, now I have more time. And actually my daughter says, you're not going to date, Mom. And I was like, am I?
Yeah, even your daughter to realize this thing. You have to start.
She's like, get on it, Mom.
So she's like, here's the app.
Yes.
I'll put the profile up for you.
Oh, you're laughing, but she did. She did. She so funny.
She's answering for you.
I know she did not. She didn't go that far. But she put it out because I'm like, oh my God, the apps and stuff that's weird. And I was scared in the beginning, kind of they came in my living room and like, oh my God.
It's totally natural when you haven't been focused on it, and then all of a sudden now in a very different way dating online.
Super weird. Super weird. And I didn't go out nowhere. So yes, I tried it there for a little while there, and then I was like, it's not for me. It was, and I also had a list how a person could fit in my life. Woohoo! I had my list. Yeah, I sure did. I couldn't find that. Like and my list was wrong for me even.
Yeah,
and I didn't realize it. I was like,
Yeah.
can't do this and need to fit in this, and I need to be this and la la la. And then actually one of my clients told me, because I was like, oh, I'm not on it anymore. Because they asked like, oh, are you still trying to date? And I'm like, no, it's not for me. And it's like, why don't you just have a little fun, Viveca? And I was like, oh,
You're like, fun.
fun. I know. I mean, it took person tell me like, why don't you have a little fun? I was like, oh, fun. Okay. The list needs to go out the window. And then I was like, okay, I'm just gonna go on dates. It's not for me. I can pay my own dinner and all that stuff. But
Right.
have a male to talk to
yeah.
and see if and be a little appreciated. I love to dress up. You know, if somebody say you look beautiful, you look cute, like, oh, I love that. I crave that. So I started the date. I didn't date that much. It was kind of just like simple date. And then I met somebody on Bumble. Bumble.
It works.
It literally, believe me, I never thought. And that was the thing, though. I put my expectations down a little bit.
Yeah.
And put a younger age group. Hey, I sure did. And there he was. He contacted me through Bumble, and you can contact people like that. And I said, oh, somebody like kind of said hi to me, and I was like, oh, nice, he's British. And I was like, oh, that's good for me because I'm European.
Yeah.
To have that connection home, for feeling home was big for me. And I was like, okay, cool. And then he was super smart. He left a message with his British accent.
Done deal.
Done. And I went, I see what he's doing. Okay. Well, it worked. And then we met.
He's no dummy.
Exactly. I told him that too. I said, this. You knew exactly what you were doing. and then we met and we had dinner date for 5 hours. They were about to throw us out. Yeah, 5 hours. We had the best time. We had so much fun together.
What do you think is the biggest difference between you now and you 15 years ago, 10 years ago, in terms of like how you're experiencing this relationship?
Calmer. I mean, and I'm not a calm person. And I have to.
Yeah, you're very energetic.
I'm
you're
very
always
energetic.
doing a million things at once.
Yeah. And also like I have my ways, right? I have my ways in my space. I have my own house. I have my things. I have everything. And it's like, whoa, suddenly somebody's going to take space, but I'm ready for it.
Right.
I'm ready because, and we've been together since we met, 4 months, going strong. And we've been together. We literally have not been away from each other.
It feels like you guys have been together longer.
Yeah, because we literally have not been away from each other. And we learned a lot. Do we have shit ton of learning?
Right.
Absolutely. Right. But we also gone through some hard stuff right away because there is another person there. And I was not used to that. But I realized I'm ready to feel this love, having somebody else to, fulfill me and in every way. And it's so fun.
But also too, like realizing that there was a part of you that needed to make space for that.
Big time. And still I'm going in my ways a while and, and it's kind of like, hey, I'm I'm your partner, And
also
I need
taking a minute to like, okay, like not just react to things, right? Because we're human beings, right? You're two grown-ups that have got each a very full life. And so now you're coming together. Some things are going to have to move out of the way.
Yes.
And it's like, how do you tackle that?
And I think I said, thank God I actually in this age and my brain too, that I can actually think about those things. And I still slip up here and there.
Yeah.
But I'm ready to have somebody in my life. I'm ready to share my life. Like I am. It's really, and my daughter is grown.
Yeah.
I don't have to have this bad conscience the whole time.
I mean, she's always going to be your little girl.
Of course she is.
But she's off on her own life now.
She's off on all that. She's doing great.
Yeah.
She's doing great. And I'm so happy about that. So I can actually not feel bad. But still, it's like, it was a big change for her. And then I'm kind of like, look, I want this. I have to kind of like say that. Oh, no, this is what I want.
Right. It's your time in a way.
And hey, sex is good.
So I have to ask, since you hadn't been
active.
Yes.
No.
Was it nerve-wracking or were you
Absolutely.
just so overcome with passion?
No, it was.
Or both?
No, it was nerve-wracking actually. But I also say in that, thank God for the hormones. Thank God for the hormones, because that's changed too for women.
I think that's a part also too that you don't realize that it actually affects that.
Effects. And married couple, people in relationship, that can be devastated in relationship. It's a big part. It's natural.
Yeah.
So it's a big part. But I have pushed that so far from my mind of having a partner in that way. Yeah. So yes, was it scary, but at the same time filled with like kind of love right away and feeling like
excitement
and I allowed myself to not feel scared and stuff like that. Like, okay, think back to when we were young and you did that.
Right. But what if you were like, if somebody's listening right now and they're like kind of feeling that they want that back in their life, what would you say to them?
If they are, in my age or whatever, like definitely seek help to have the hormone in your body, because naturally you're not going to feel that urge. Otherwise, I'm so sorry. That urge goes away with menopause. It does.
Yeah.
Yeah. And of course, people are going to say, no, mine haven't. Very good. There is exceptions. Right. But it's just the natural, the way. So get help if that disappear for you. And then don't be so hard on yourself. Do I look like I did when I was in my 20s and 30s and all stuff? Yes, I work out a lot. I'm lifting up my hand like this, and I was like, oh my goodness,
that's when you just close your eyes.
Yes. And you know what? When you have somebody that loves you and you have a relationship, that doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. And we have to get that out of our head.
Through your head, because it's the same, because you're looking at yourself with such a critical lens. And if somebody's really connected to you, like, embrace it as hard as it may feel.
Yes, and it's weird. And it's like, I remember back, like somebody would touch my stomach. Now I'm like, I have, there it is. And it's like, I love your stomach. I'm like, yeah, okay, cool, thank you.
But you're obviously also with somebody who is, you know what I mean? Like, is not making you feel right. Like, they're making you feel great.
Absolutely,
like,
that's the key.
And that's the key. You need a partner that really appreciates.
You need that, and that otherwise it wouldn't be worth it for me.
Yeah.
It would not be worth it. I mean, if somebody was critical, more critical of me than I am myself, there's a high bar to go to, but that would not work. I would not feel sexy. I would not let go.
Right.
I mean, this is supposed to be joyful. You know what I'm saying? I think I don't have all the perceptions of what I had when I was younger, how I should be and how sexy I should be and whatever. I'm just myself now. And yes, I say, and I was like, sometimes I'm like, oh my goodness, I don't look too cute right now. Okay, he thinks I'm cute. So cool. I'm going to go for it. You know what I'm saying? My mind still play that. We have
it still tries to play that trick.
Absolutely.
On you.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, my arms. Oh, my.
Well, it's even like, because you'll be like, but then you like catch yourself in a mirror and you're like, oh, wait a minute. Forget that.
Yes.
Go back to the feeling.
Yep. Go back to the feeling and have fun. Have fun.
Yeah.
Have fun. And I'm enjoying myself like thoroughly.
I'm very happy for you. That's
Thank
really
you.
amazing. All right. I'm going to ask you a few.
Yes.
If you could give women one piece of advice that they should stop doing immediately, what would it be?
Oh, wow. Stop doing it immediately. It will be, don't be so critical of yourself. I mean, literally. We have too many critics out in the world and the magazine. Like, we have one body. Try to enjoy it, be a little more freer, and actually don't be so critical of yourself, please.
That's really, I'm going to use that one. What are your thoughts on cardio for women over 50?
Absolutely. I love cardio 50. That's heart health, right?
Yeah.
So cardio, like you said, like we can take a walk and all that stuff, and it's great. Depending on how strong muscles you have, I like interval training. I'm telling everybody to do interval training because that is actually what heart health is about. A longevity to sit or go on a treadmill. Absolutely, it's going to help you. It's going to help your heart. Absolutely, but we want to raise the heart rate. Your heart rate heart is a muscle, right? So if it pumps and you get your heart rate up to 140 or 150, it's good for you as long as the heart rate goes down. If there's something wrong with you and it stays up there for a longer time, and if you stop working out and it stays there, then go and check yourself at the doctor, like see what's going on. But for usually, if you're normal, your heart rate can go up when you you do heavier, harder stuff, biking, a little harder. Get your heart rate up and then slow it down. So your heart rate go down. That is a muscle. That's how we train the muscle with weights. So heart is a muscle. So when it pumps up to 150 or 140, 160, that goes up. So the heart have to pump all the way, especially when you do leg work or something like that, right? And it pumps the whole body and then it goes down. So it relaxes. And then the next time it goes up again, it's much easier for the heart to pump the blood all the way up to your brain. So brain health, muscle health, interval training is my key for people to say. So even if you walk on a treadmill, try to walk as fast as you can, pump it down. You want to pump your heart rate up.
But don't be afraid of it.
Don't be afraid of it. You're not going to burst,
Right.
And yeah, are you going to feel winded? But that's what I'm saying. As soon as you start that journey, when you start, you're going to be like, I feel lightheaded and stuff like, yeah, because you haven't done it for a while. Calm it down. But the next time you take it up, you're going to be like, oh, it's not that hard. I went on those stair steppers in the gym, those stairs that disappear for you.
Yeah.
That's a kick-ass. That's a kick-ass. I went on there and I looked over and there was a lady standing next to me and I looked at the number. She was on there for 20 minutes. And I was like, 20 minutes. My heart was about to pound out of my chest after 1 minute. It was super hard. And then I took it down a little bit because I said, I can run this. I can run this. No, I couldn't. So then I took it down a little bit. But the next time I pumped it up again, my heart was okay with it. So those are the things. I was like, I can't do this. I was about to freaking faint off those stairs. But then, okay, calm down, and I know better, right? But that's the thing. Don't be scared.
Right.
Don't maybe go to 150 right away. Take your heart rate up and down. Biking, walking, whatever you can do.
What is the one exercise that is the biggest game changer that you notice in people's bodies?
Squats. We like the squats.
My husband's happy about that one.
Yep. Make sure you do squats with Deborah. I hear him from the other room. No, I was kidding.
Oh, babe, are you and Viveca going to do squats today? They're really good for you.
I know. But the thing is, squats working those bigger muscles. They're working the quads, they're working the hamstring, they're working the glute. And the glute is, again, the strongest muscle on our body. It is the biggest muscle on our body when we work it out. Not the biggest on everything. If you don't work it out, your glute will not have muscle in it. So you have to work it out. Squats all day. And leg press, anything that resemble that.
If somebody wanted to reset their body in 30 days, what would you say they should do? Just a broad stroke 30-day reset. If you just want to just feel better.
I say learn how to cook. So food is a big deal for our body, right? So learn how to cook or get healthy options to eat good. Get your protein every day. Get your salad. Get the stuff. So that's the food aspect of it. And reset your body in 30 days for exercise. I will suggest to train at least 4 to 5 times a week. And I mean, exercise can be something easy as walking or jogging or do something like that. But do
it on a hill or do it on.
Yeah. And then strength training. And I said, squat is the best exercise for the bigger muscle groups. And you can do squats on the reformer with weights on it. You can do so have a couple of different exercises for you. You can even do mat Pilates. That's like stretching also and strength training. And you can use some tools, get a little weights, and then do strength training. So you alternate through those.
You know what you reminded me? The one piece that I know that I slack on is stretching. Because I feel like you go and do your workout, and then you're rushing to the next thing to do.
Absolutely.
And I feel like stretching as you get older particularly is even more critical. And I think we all sort of jump through that real quick.
Critical for now we're talking about women most, and I'm from myself is our hips.
Yeah.
Hips and shoulder for women. Hips and shoulders are the joints, right? So the hip joint and the shoulder joint is the same joint, like they build the same. So and they get stiff and it's pain. And when pain coming, you don't want to stretch, right?
Right.
I have everybody doing pigeon. I'm a fan of pigeon stretch. People are hating me.
Pigeon is so hard. It's like some days I can do it.
Yes.
And other days, if there's no.
Because that gets you quad a little bit, gets you hip like crazy, get you glute muscle. And especially if you worked out your glute, you gotta do pigeon and quad, stretching out your quad, because those are the biggest muscle. You get your hip flexor involved, you get the psoas involved to stretch out. Stretching for me is the key. I mean, I was a dancer and I still dance. I'm going to dance class today, by the way. And I come in that room and are rolling around on the floor for like 20 minutes before.
Wow.
And then we stretch in the warm up.
Right.
Because he's an old school teacher, so we stretch.
I definitely have to get better at that.
But the end after that, you're done and you're like, oh shit, look that I can't stretch. If I don't stretch out my quads and my glute and I'm going to be so stiff the next day. So the after
and you're so active. It's not like you're not active.
No, I'm super active. And with stretching, it's also interesting, right? People say, Viveca, do you feel tight in like you easy for you? It's easy to stretch your legs like that.
Yeah.
And I said, absolutely, but every time I start to stretch, I'm tight.
Right.
Every time.
You're not immune from it.
Nobody's going to get immune. It's not, yes, am I more flexible than maybe other people because I've been doing it my whole life? But do I have to work on it? Absolutely. Every day. Or if I don't, I'm hurting.
What would you say you today, the thing that you like the most about yourself now?
I have to say that I am calmer in my mind. Yeah. I actually was too, I love that I was driven and I still driven and all that stuff, but I have a different calmness and I worked on myself for that, like big time. Through the life, I was like this, but I am like this.
Right.
Deal with it. I mean, I literally was that person.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, okay, I have to kind of work on myself. And actually through my daughter, she's much wiser than me. She went through a lot, right? And then she went to therapy and worked on her traumas in her life. And she goes, Mom, you should do this. She did EMDR.
You're like, what, me?
Yes. No, I literally said that. Deborah, I did. She went to the EMDR and it was amazing for her. She said, Mom, you should do this. I talked about you to my doctor. And I went, but I don't have traumas. And my daughter went, really?
Right.
And I was like, trauma don't have to be super big.
Right.
Traumas for and then that we learn, especially over the years, I learned how to react to certain things.
Right.
I learned how to protect myself. Therefore, I didn't have a man in X amount of years because I did protect myself
so well.
Yeah. Also from bad relationship.
Right.
It was a lot. I looked at it. I said, "Oh my God, did I protect myself to? My picker wasn't the best picker when I had. Did I trust myself? And that was a big one for me. How do I trust myself going into relationship and not letting go of Viveca and not be so strict about my way? How do you balance that?
Right.
So I'm not going to say I'm done with my work and I still haven't gone to the therapist, but I should. I think that is great for anybody.
Well, but it's also good to sort of like our work is never done, right?
Thank you.
Like we're ever evolving.
Yes.
Right. So just think, just because I'm 50 or 60 or 70, it's all done now. And no, you can still keep finding freedom within yourself.
Yeah. That was one of my biggest thing growing up. My father was a painting artist. And just also maybe that's why I got myself of like wanting more, doing more, and had a temperament and he did a lot of stuff like I am, like had that will, a strong will, right? And then one day he said for me he was old, right? And then he goes, I don't know what to gonna do the next chapter of my life. And I went, what do you mean? I literally I was like, what do you mean? You're gonna do something different? I mean, you kind of done. No, my mind.
Right.
Why are you not satisfied where you are?
Right.
I literally thought so.
Yeah.
And I've been looking back at that a lot.
Yeah, that's really interesting.
That was, I was like, he didn't feel done. He wanted to do something new. And you can. That's what I'm saying. I'm not done.
Right.
I'm going to start to live my life finally, like in different ways.
Yeah, in different ways.
In different ways. No. And that's the beauty of some research and all this stuff. We're talking about hormones. That's the beauty of you don't have to be done over 50. We don't.
Right.
We don't. We're going to live longer. Back in the day, we didn't live.
Right.
We actually, the nature took us out. You're supposed to be the old grandma,
Right.
and not have muscles, and then you fall and you break a hip, and then you maybe pass. I mean, that's the truth. And I'm not saying that to be, but now you're building your muscle, you're building your health, you're building with hormones and so on. So we're gonna live. We're gonna live for a long time, and that is
how you live that time. Like I remember Herbert and I were in Jamaica. We'd been filming there on Bachelor, and so we stayed a couple days afterwards just to enjoy, and it was really beautiful. And we were down at the beach, and there was this gorgeous couple. They were 75. They were not spring chickens, but they were strong in their bodies, and they were out there paddle boarding, and they were being sexy together. And it was like, that is not the vision that I maybe grew up with.
Nope.
Right?
Not at all.
And I was like, that's what I want to have. That you can still be having fun and feeling good and being sexy.
Yes.
Like, it doesn't stop.
No.
But you have to do the work.
You have to do the work, and you have to have fun together if you are in a marriage or not, or meeting somebody like me that I did later in my life, and feeling, feeling young, and young is what word is that? But like feeling great in your own body.
Right, feeling good.
Feeling good. And physical touch, I think, is a big deal. I missed the physical touch, and I mean holding hands and like that is it can literally do something for you inside.
Right. I mean, well, just the what is it, the oxytocin that gets released? Like just that alone.
Alone.
But it is interesting though, if you haven't been doing it, it is strange.
Yes.
Because you almost forget.
What it did to you. And to let go and trust yourself in that aspect. And then you said the couple on the beach, right? Having fun together. I love to see people holding hands, or did you just see people have that like respect and love for each other? And yes, after X amount of marriage, they're like, wait for Viveca, la 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 la. And I was like, well, I want to live my X amount of year of actually, is it going to be stuff that comes up in life? Absolutely. But like, take your time and actually enjoy it a little bit more, because we all getting older.
We're all getting older.
But we can be cool. We can be really cool, and we can age gracefully and have fun. I want to have fun.
Yeah. I think that's the thing I'm really hearing from you, because like even like, with work and then the baby, and we're worried about this, and you've got whatever pressure's going on, you can forget to just have fun. And that doesn't mean going on expensive vacations or whatever, but just taking the moments, to laugh and see the lighter side of things. It is really important. And sometimes you have to remind yourself to stop and do that.
And I think we need laughter. I think people need to laugh, because I remember when I grew up in the 80s, 90s and all stuff. I mean, the humor on even TV shows and stuff like that was like, maybe it was my humor, but I remember me laughing out loud.
Right.
And now
it's like,
yes. No, and it's like we need to laugh.
Well, we're also in a time period where I feel like we're all a little afraid. Like, it's like, what can we laugh about anymore?
Yes.
But
but it has to be, the laughter is something, it's actually nature. So a big belly laugh, and when you have to cross your legs, that is the best feeling ever. When you have somebody to laugh with. Play a game,
Yeah. I love that.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for being here, Viveca. It was amazing to spend time with you today. You're awesome, and I feel...
And you are.
I feel so lucky to have met you and found you and have you a part of my life, because you're an awesome friend to me.
Same. I feel the same. Thank you.